I think we're connected. Let's check it out here. Welcome, everybody. Just gonna wait to connect here. Going a minute early on this July 15th. Welcome, welcome. Let's check what we got. All right, we're good with that. Just gonna wait for some people to join for the conversation today. Like I said, July 15th. How we doing, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, we got the best of Shane on the marathon for The Walking Dead on television right now on AMC. Pretty cool stuff. If you like Shane, I would have liked to have seen Shane continue. I've said that many times in many different spots. So we just got a lot of stuff going on in this live stream. We're going to talk about a couple things that's going around. Spoiler warning if you're not watching this live, if you're watching it on the recap, spoiler stuff. So I don't know what you know, what you want to know, what you don't want to know, all that. But yeah, I'm excited for this upcoming week. Comic-Con is this week. The San Diego Comic-Con panel. When I say Comic-Con, that's always San Diego Comic-Con, even though we have different ones like Tampa Bay or Tampa and this one and that. But ultimately, Comic-Con is San Diego. That'll be in a couple days. I think the preview is Wednesday. Panels start Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Walking Dead panel will be Sunday. I'm excited. Or Sunday. It'll be Friday. Sorry. I'm just got Walking Dead on the mind. But the Walking Dead panel and the Fear the Walking Dead panel will be this Friday, July 20th. And the trailer right there, Nightmare Files. The trailer most likely comes out towards the end of the panel. And I have to get clarification on this, but the times, I believe, are West Coast times. So their panel, the Fear the Walking Dead panel, is at like 11:15 to 12:15, I believe, or 11:45 to 12:45, something like that off the top of my head. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But the Walking Dead panel will be right after it, from either 12:15 or 12:45, whatever it is, until it's an hour-long panel. The panel will probably be dropping on YouTube around that time. So I'm guessing I live in the Eastern Standard Time zone of the United States. So I'm guessing that's 3 hours difference from California time to Florida time. So I'm guessing that is, probably going to be around 4 o'clock is when the trailer gets done. I believe that's when they come out. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is when it is. So wherever you live, check the time zones for that. But the trailer should be out this Friday, which is crazy to think that it's been a long time coming. I mean, when did The Walking Dead end? April? And so if we're looking at April, we're months after April for Walking Dead content to get the trailer. If you don't watch Fear the Walking Dead, it's going to be Fear the Walking Dead, the trailer panel before, then the Walking Dead trailer and panel and all that stuff will be there on this Friday. The Fear the Walking Dead panel and the Walking Dead panel are going to be moderated by Yvette Nicole Brown. Chris Hardwick is booted from the panel moderation. Also, interim basis as of August is Yvette Nicole Brown is going to be the host of Talking Dead. Don't know if it's going to be short-lived, if it's going to be just for this, because AMC is still conducting their investigation about Chris Hardwick. We'll see what happens if Chris Hardwick is going to ever come back, if it's going to be the Yvette Nicole Brown show. Not sure. But ultimately, I watch it for the guests, the content for there, not so much the host, even though I do like Chris Hardwick. And Yvette Nicole Brown is kind of annoying when she's a guest. She's a little too much, a little over the top. I don't know. But I'd rather have Chris Hardwick hosting than Yvette Nicole Brown based on the format. Just it would go smoother. I think it would just be a better show format, especially because he's been doing it for so long. But we'll see what happens. August 12th is, I believe, when Fear the Walking Dead comes back. Let me check. I think that the Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, I believe it's August 12th, is going to be decent. 4B should be decent. Not sure if you liked the first half or not, if you watch it or not, but I'm excited to see how it happens, what goes down with it, if it's going to be good or not. I'm just not too excited with the direction of Fear. They haven't done anything that great They haven't done anything to connect the dots, connect the first 3 seasons to season 4. It just doesn't make that much great content to me. We'll see what happens with that. And also, I don't think I ever talked about it, but there was a lawsuit that came out for Fear the Walking Dead season 2, I believe, is what the lawsuit consists of. But it's a Fear the Walking Dead creator copyright kind of thing between the creators and a person who had either a book or a story or something about a zombie apocalypse, a fishing trip that I believe the showrunner or somebody was involved with it. I don't remember the names. I know it wasn't Robert Kirkman, but it might have been the other writer and creator of Fear the Walking Dead, along with Robert Kirkman. But that guy knew this guy, and something to do with the lawsuit of the fishing trip, and that's where they got some of the ideas for it. It's just not good. Like, first of all, Fear the Walking Dead has just been lackluster in my opinion, but also for you to steal someone else's ideas, story, and not even do well with it, it's kind of dumb. But that's just the latest thing I heard about that. I don't think I remember talking about it with you guys, but yeah, I think it was David Alpert. You're right there, R. Perez 34. But I think that it was just like, wow, that's another thing that these people are making mistakes with. But we'll see if it happens. Maybe it's false. Maybe it's not true. But I just can't believe that that's another thing that someone, if you take ideas from another place, you have to give them, is just crazy. It's just crazy. But either way, Fear the Walking Dead, I'll be back in a month, August 12th. I'm watching The Best of Shane on AMC as I make this right now. They're on the farm because there's only 2 seasons of Shane. So you're only going to get the first 2 seasons of it. But I was talking with my wife as we were watching it, and it's like when there was Rick and Shane, you kind of saw the whose side are you on? And we haven't really had that for this since season 2. Maybe we're getting it now in season 9 with Maggie and Daryl versus Rick and Michonne. And the other thing I caught that was kind of funny is that Dale is talking to Rick, and Dale is saying, what's up, Mike? No, any news about Georgie? No, I don't really know anything about Georgie just yet. She hasn't been seen or anything for season 9 filming. We'll see if she comes back around. But I think that the other thing I caught in the episode that I started watching on the marathon is that Dale is talking to Rick, and Dale says to Rick, do you want to be the person or the group of people that shoots first and thinks second? And that's what Carl does at the prison when he kills that Woodbury kid. He just kills him and shoots him and just walks away. And you're like, oh, I guess that's what happened. And that happened after that. It was kind of funny where little nuances like that you don't even pick up. And that's why I love watching that. The idea of watching The Walking Dead over and over and over and over again, you might miss something. And I'll talk about a couple things in a second, but I also watched season 4, which if you know this channel, you know myself that I think season 4 is going to be connected in kind of a storytelling idea mode for season 9, because Angela Kang wants season 9 to feel like season 4 and season 5. She said that before, and I agree with that, and I think that's going to get a feel for that. If you watch season 4, you'll see civilization coming back at the prison. They're harvesting crops. They have animals. They're rebuilding. There's a time jump. It's just so many similarities of season 3, from season 3 to season 4, that time jump of the start of season 4, how it'll be, in my opinion, season 9. So I'm watching season 4 to get ready for it and everything. And I watched episodes 6 and 7, and that's kind of where they're at filming right now. They're filming episode 7 of season 9 with, I believe the word is that the director is Michael Cutlitz, who played Abraham. That's what it said on the placard thing that they use for between takes, and it's kind of cool if that's true. I mean, it could just be a leak, it could be a false thing, but I don't know why they would have that there. But Michael Cutlitz could potentially be directing, which I hope it's true. I would love to see that. But season 9, episode 7 is where they're out filming now. So the word about episode 5 with Rick potentially dying and episode 6 being somewhere else is just a potential another time jump. And you're like, so if you watch episode 406, That's the governor episode after the prison is kind of saved with the virus and the flu and the medications and the antibiotics that they got from the veterinary prison, the veterinary school. That they go back to the prison and they save people's lives. Everyone is kind of alive. And then you see the governor. And it goes flashback with Martinez and the governor and Crowley. And it's kind of weird that it just stops there. And then it picks up with the governor for episode 6 and 7 and into 8. And then they go with that. So it's kind of like we could get that in season 9. And it's kind of interesting to see if that's true, because previously, like episode 6 is a bottle episode. Episode 7 is kind of a bottle episode with some transition to where it's going. But episode 6 is definitely a bottle episode, and that may happen in season 9. So I'm trying to just think about it a little bit, where you see season 9, what we to expect, and are there as well. And also, I like season 4 a lot, especially with One Eye Bry. Episode 406 is where that's mentioned. And that's where some subscriber gave me my nickname as One Eye Bry. I kind of changed it to One Eye Bry as one with the letter I, and then Bry is BRI, not like the word eye, like your eyeball. But I just changed a little bit there and there too. So pretty cool stuff. I'm hoping that happens on there. If you want to do some chats, guys, do top chat, super chat, live chat, all that stuff. We'll get it going for it. I'm going to go for about an hour, so about another 50 minutes or so. And I'm excited for season 9. I say it in all my videos, and I really am. I'm one of the realest people out there with it. I'm not going to, say like, oh yeah, I'm excited for it when I hate it. People know how I feel about Fear the Walking Dead, and it's evident. People know how I love The Walking Dead, and it's all about there too. So it's kind of funny that it's just, I'm excited for season 9. More and more stuff is coming out. The whole Rick Grimes thing is interesting. Episode 905, 906, they're filming 907. We'll see if he comes back and films after Comic-Con, because Comic-Con is this week. They're filming episode 907, and they're going to probably be in San Diego at latest Thursday. So they might film Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe just Monday and Tuesday. Maybe they fly Wednesday. Maybe they get there Thursday. We'll see what they want to do with production and actually how they're going to fly. But they're filming 907 now. I'm not hearing anything that Andrew Lincoln is filming there. He could come back after that, because they'll probably film 907 for the week after Comic-Con. Then they'll film episode 908, and then they'll have a break, and then they'll continue filming the second half of season 9. It's typically when it happens, too. So, David Kluppertz, the Walking Dead San Diego Comic-Con panel is July 20th, this Friday. I believe it's 12:15 to 1:15 or 12:45 to 1:45. I have it in a video. I'm just blanking on if it's 12:45 or 12:15, what's on there as well. So what's up, Jeffrey Morrow? What's popping on there too? So I'm excited, guys. Hopefully you are as well. Probably everyone in this live stream, I'm excited to see you're excited to see this season just like I am on there too. So let me see. Tudor, ask your question now. I'll check it out on there. What you got? Oh, there you are. You think Daryl will move Negan to that lake location for episode 7? I don't know. That's a good point. That's a good question there, Tudor. So for those who don't know, they're filming episode 907 right now, and there's like a mill farm kind of area where they're filming. They got some great pictures in a video. Some people are there. I talked to some of the people that actually witnessed some of the filming from a distance, not on set, but from as close as you can be. And her name is Darlene. So Darlene Crown, if you're watching, pretty cool stuff. You shared with some information and some pictures. Pretty awesome. Where she saw Daryl and a dog that looks to be an animal that is for the production, not just someone's animal that they brought potentially. And she had a picture in the distance. It was so far away because probably the zoom could only go so much. But it looks like Daryl's motorcycle and the wagon are coming down the street towards the mill, towards the lake kind of thing. And we don't know what's going on with that mill. Again, if there's a time jump thing, 5 to 6 years, we potentially could be getting 2 giant time jumps is what the word is what some of the spoiler sites are saying. So I'm not sure how it's going to work, but maybe Negan gets taken away from his jail cell or he gets away on there. That's a good question. I don't know what's going to happen with Negan. That's a big underlying thing that we just don't know on there as well. So, very cool, M. King. You got book 7. So book 7, Weaponize. I'm very proud of that book. That is a great story that continues the story of it. And it's also kind of a little transition of things. And it's starting the whole midway towards the second volume. And hopefully you like it, M. King. No spoilers, of course, but just hopefully you like it. And you'll see where it goes in there, too. I'm excited for Weaponize. And I'm actually already started writing Legacy this couple days, probably for about a week now. I've been writing Legacy, so that's book 8. That'll be out in October or November, probably October at this pace. I'll have it done by October, right around when The Walking Dead comes back around there too. So pretty cool stuff. I'm excited for it. Thank you, M. King. My books aren't yours. He wrote your books are incredible. I appreciate that. That really means a lot to me. I appreciate the support. That does mean a lot as well. And with this channel and you guys here joining me on this live stream, you're supporting me. And that really means a lot to me on there as well, because people need to be supported no matter what they're doing. Haters are going to hate, and we get that as well, and people are on there too. Oh, there's Darlene. Hey, Darlene Crown, thanks for joining me. I just gave you a shout out on there too. Don't know if you're in Georgia as well, seeing more filming, but I just said what you told me a little bit about the filming for episode 907. Pretty awesome stuff. Pretty awesome. I would love to be in Georgia to see some of the filming, but being in Florida, being a physical therapist, being a writer, being a homeowner, being a lot of things on there, I just can't get there as much as I would like to. I'm hoping to check out Sonoy in October for Walker Stalker Atlanta. I will be there in Atlanta too. So, you just got home to Ohio, Darlene. That's cool though. But you had some great pictures of great information. Most people would kill for that as well. So you had a great trip, I would assume, in there in Georgia for it. Pretty awesome stuff. If you're going to be in Georgia again, hopefully sharing some information, and maybe if we ever at Walker Stalker, I wouldn't mind meeting you there. And also, I wouldn't mind meeting any of you guys at Walker Stalker Atlanta. My wife and my father will be there this year for potentially Saturday and Sunday, but definitely Sunday as well for it as well. So, great question, Epopmas. Does Season 8 Blu-ray have the F-bombs in it? I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know if they're doing other takes with the F-bombs. There might be some cursing by Negan, but they were supposed to have your F-bombs this year. I'm not sure if the F-bombs are coming on the show at all, because I believe AMC and The Walking Dead got clearance to have 2 F-bombs per season, and I don't remember hearing it on The Walking Dead. We heard it on Fear, but nothing on The Walking Dead, unless I'm mistaken on there too. So pretty cool, M. King. Hopefully I'll get to meet you at Walker Stalker Atlanta. I'll be there getting the panels and getting the information as well, recording the panels, and also Walker Stalker Cruise this February. I'm excited for that. Anyone going to be on that? Hopefully you guys will get to have some fun being there on the Walker Stalker Cruise. The final Walker Stalker Cruise is what they're marketing it as. So we'll see if that happens on there too. So yes, Ram Gray, we believe the trailer will be on Friday for the Walking Dead panel at San Diego Comic-Con. I believe it'll be this Friday, July 20th. So the news around Walking Dead on there is that they're filming episode 907. They wrapped up 906 with Larry Tang or whatever, I believe his name is on there too. He don't know if that's going to be a bottle episode, because I'm not sure who this guy is and how they filmed it and what they're doing, but hopefully we'll see what the story continues for 906. But the big things, if it's going to be, we're going to lose Rick and Maggie and people this season, because that's the rumors. That's the word been going around, and we haven't had interview proof of saying that Andrew Lincoln is done. If you see somewhere, I'm hoping that Comic-Con has that in the panel, and hopefully someone asks that, someone answers that question, and hopefully Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln, talks about it. And the same thing with Maggie, Lauren Cohan. And hopefully they don't dodge it, and they say, oh, you got to keep watching and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens, if they answer the questions or not, but hopefully they do. That's just what we all want to know. We all want to know what happens on there too. So Mike Reiser, where you think Eugene is? Haven't seen him in leaked photos or the poster. Well, the poster only had Carol, Michonne, Rick, Maggie, and Daryl. So you had 5 people on there. The big 5, of course, the main 5 cast. But Eugene is rumored to be in episode 906, and I believe Eugene will be fine. Eugene is a survivor. And I remember watching the New York Comic-Con panel, actually on the Walker Stalker cruise. They played the old panels and stuff. It's actually a pretty cool channel. That Robert Kirkman said, "Who do you see yourself being in the world of The Walking Dead?" And he said Eugene. He would have other people do the work for him and keep him alive, and he would be kind of useless. So I don't see Eugene ever dying if Robert Kirkman sees himself as Eugene somewhat, right? If you were a writer, are you going to kill yourself off if you're the main character? Probably not. You might die at some point, but you might not die. You know, it's like it doesn't make sense for you to see yourself as a character for that unless it's to progress the story or have other people come around, which may happen. But Eugene's not that big of a character. I don't really see him happening to die for any. He like is the reason for other people that have died. You know, you've seen that in different shows and episodes and different, you know, parts of the comic for sure. So thank you, Ram Gray, for the super chat. Yes, I believe the trailer will be out this Friday, July 20th. The past several years, it has been on the The Walking Dead panel at San Diego Comic-Con. So, which is this Friday. That's when the panels are. I'm not sure. I've never been to the panel. I don't know if they show the trailer and they talk about it, or they have a panel and then they end the trailer on the panel. Not sure, but I don't watch it from the panel. I watch it on YouTube from their AMC, their channel there too. And when it comes out, it's going to spread like wildfire. It's going to be all over the place. I'm going to watch it probably many, many times, break it down, check it out, break it down again, see what we see, and just talk about it and have that too. So I'll be able to do my next live stream, which will be next Sunday after the Comic-Con panel and the trailer comes out. So I'm excited. I'm excited on there too. So I'm thinking they talk, then they show it. Yeah, I would assume that they have the panel and then they talk about it. Or they talk about the panel and the questions on that, and then they have the trailer. Because if they have a trailer come up, people might have questions about the trailer and they don't really want to talk about it, I'm sure. So I'm not sure. Kitten Lover, great question. Will Maggie be the next threat to Rick? That's definitely going to be a problem. They talk about it on interviews by Angela Kang and everything, where you're going to have that dilemma of Rick and Michonne's ideas for Negan and the future versus Maggie and Daryl and the Hilltops ideas with that. I think that makes sense. So thank you, Rennick. Nice to meet you on there as well. I'm One-Eye Bry on there too, even though I have 2 eyes. So like I said, did you watch the Governor thing last year? Did you watch, are you watching the Best of Shane marathon as we speak here? Pretty cool stuff on there. I'm excited to see these as they come by, and you can see the glory days of The Walking Dead, what it was, where it's come from on there too. So I'm hoping that they do some more it's just crazy to see season 2 and where they've come from. But it's kind of crazy to think that The Walking Dead has been on for 8 seasons, coming up on 9 seasons, and where they've come and where they've been and where they're going to go. So I'm excited to see what happens and if they can get back to the glory days, maybe if a reboot is necessary or not. So Chris Rambo, okay, so I'm confused. Is Rick leaving or staying? We just don't know. We just don't know if he's going to die, if he's going to leave, if he's going to think, if we're going to think he dies or not. Like I made in the one video, Dumpster Gate. So Dumpster Gate was when we thought Glenn died, but Glenn actually turned out to be alive. Something like that could happen in episode 905. We're not sure if he dies or not. The initial report is that he was killed off, that he does die by the herd. But then there's some conflicting reports and on there too. So as of today, July 15th, we don't know if Rick lives or dies. We don't know if Maggie lives or dies. We don't know if the 6-episode thing is true or not. We don't know if Rick filmed 5 episodes and we only get 5, or he comes back for 1 more episode, or what. We're just not sure. So if you're seeing other channels and they're presenting other stuff like that, I don't know if it's true or not or what to make of it. But the latest report that I have, and from the spoiler sites and the people that are connected with the show from the most inside that they can get, The potential spoilers and the potential information for it is we just don't know if Rick... I don't see Rick living past this season for a variety of reasons. I don't think Andrew Lincoln wants to do the question. I don't think he wants to do it, too. I don't think Andrew Lincoln wants to do the show anymore. So just like Nick didn't want to do the show anymore, just like the writers kind of killed Madison off, it's kind of what they do. But if Nick Clark didn't want to be on the show anymore on Fear the Walking Dead, they had to write him off. And the same thing is going to be supposedly happening with Rick. So I think Rick leaves on there as well. So, hey, One Eye Brag, are you a little disappointed about the casting of Negan? Do you wish he was big like he was in the comics? I think I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan as a person, as a Negan person, as a character. But I just wish he was bigger, bulkier, burly, husky, almost overweight. You know, I feel like he should be like a linebacker build. Because in the comic, he's so big. And you look at Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and he's super skinny. I mean, I don't know if he's 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". He's probably like 185 pounds of 6'3". And that's okay. And he's probably healthy, and he may be going vegan, or he may be going whatever, and that's all right. But to be that character, it just kind of presents a little too skinny for it. But I don't know. The overall look of Negan is pretty good. He's just a little too skinny. Who is that new character with the long hair? Who is behind the horse? You see only the legs. I don't know, Brandon. That's a good question. It might be the guy who we thought was Henry in the one video that we had. It could be Maggie. It could be... It's somebody on the cart, most likely. So you can see on the left of the picture, as I picture it, you have Sadiq, you have Enid, you have Michonne, you have Cindy, you have the new guy with the long hair, and then you have Al. And then behind all them is Carol in the very back. But behind Michonne, there's just legs. And I said it before, I don't know who it is. And everyone's like, it's Cindy or it's Carol. No, I know it. I know Cindy and Carol is there. I just don't know who's behind the horse, directly behind the horse. You can only see like the knees and the boots or whatever. So to me, it could be Rosita. It could be Jadis or Anne, whatever you're calling her. It could be Maggie. Because in the pictures that you have for season 9 that we're filming, you see Jadis, you see Father Gabriel, you see Maggie, you see Rosita, you see... Oh, and actually, you don't see Rosita. I take that back. So it's probably not Rosita. People are asking, where is Rosita? And we actually don't see her. So I'm going off the top of my head. I'm not looking at a picture, so I'm just going by that. But I think it could be that on there as well. So... Jeffrey Dean Morgan is kind of skinny. That's right, I believe on there too. Rory McCain, who plays the Hound, he should be Beta. Actually, I think he would be a better Beta than anything because Beta needs to be huge. Beta needs to be almost 7 foot, and he needs to be taller than Negan by far on there too. So it could have been Henry Rollins. Paul, yeah, that's true. That's who Negan, the comic book character, is actually. The concept art by Charlie Adlard was Henry Rollins. So Henry Rollins is the concept and the look of comic book Negan is who, and Henry Rollins actually read for Negan, but he didn't give him the part, obviously, for probably a couple reasons. I'm not sure if Henry Rollins is that charismatic as much as Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And also, Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Norman Reedus are really good friends, so I'm sure Norman Reedus kind of vouched for him a little bit as well. So, Q&A, Brian, if the second time jump is true, you think they will give Carl's comic counterpart to Judith? Don't know. It could be Henry. Henry, there's some news about Henry for episode 906, I believe, is that Henry is going to be older. That Henry is actually Matt Lintz, who is the brother of Maxon Lintz and Madison Lintz, who played Sophia and younger Henry. The older brother, Matt Lintz, is going to be older Henry, supposedly, maybe, potentially on there too. So I think that comic connection can go to Henry. I'm not sure. Judith would be pretty young for some of the stuff. You know, say she's 3 years old now at the start of season 9. And then there's a 5 or 6 year jump. She could be 8 or 9 years old, maybe 10 years old at the most. Some of that stuff is not appropriate for a 10-year-old. You know what I'm talking about from the comic books. Judith, that should not be happening to a 10-year-old of Judith. But I could see Henry if he's 17 years old, 18 years old, you know? Because again, if Henry was 13 and then it's a 5-6 year time jump, he could be potentially, 18, 19 years old. So I think that fits a better for that is older Henry for it. Again, Carl 2.0. So I think that makes sense for, the future of it. The big questions that everybody's asking me all the time is, will Rick live? Is Maggie going to live? Will Ezekiel live? Rosita? Have we seen the Whispers? What's up with the Whispers? Has anyone seen Magna? Anyone seen these people? And people probably have, but there hasn't been any good pictures of it, of these people. I'm not sure if we're going to get the Lydia stuff, if we're going to get Alpha, we're going to get Beta. I don't think they're going to skip the Commonwealth. I don't think they're going to skip to the Commonwealth storyline. I really don't see them skipping the Whispers. Greg Nicotero and KMB effects are all about making walkers. And if you can bring the walkers to the people and the hybrid kind of feel that the Whispers are, is pretty important. So the Whispers are pretty cool. So Kitten Lover, who's the Whispers? I don't want to give too much away, but the Whispers are the next villain after the war, villainous group. And they have some really good things. Their story kind of has some big points, and the way it ends pissed a lot of people off. But I thought it was a great second war and a second story. So the Whispers, I think, need to happen to the show and should happen to the show. So thank you, Rennick. What is Daryl, Maggie, Jesus going to do to Rick? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think Daryl's going to do anything to Rick. I think the tension between Rick and Daryl and Maggie is going to be what to do with Negan. And I think Daryl and Maggie are going to try to figure out a way to get to Negan and take Negan out. But if Negan is at Alexandria and Maggie is at the hilltop, and probably Daryl is going to be at the hilltop with Maggie, you don't really need to be around Negan. So who cares about Negan if you're in a separate world? Negan is going to be Alexandria's problem. But Maggie is going to be involved with the Saviors and the Sanctuary and rations and food. So Maggie is not going to want to give up food to the Saviors and the people that are responsible for killing her husband, which I don't blame her. I do not blame someone who's going to feed the people that killed a member of my group, my family, my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whatever. You ain't going to get, help from me. That ain't going to happen. Get out of here with that, So Maggie, hopefully Maggie has got a lot more story too. Hopefully they worked out and ironed out some contract situation, because if Rick goes, that's bad enough. That's terrible. And if Maggie goes, that's double terrible. That's even worse. So you're going to lose Maggie and Rick, two big leaders, two big storytellers who are both still alive in the comic, two big parts of the comic and the story still. Not sure if the show can really come around with that too. So, Brandon, great question. What is Alden's role in season 9? Is he going with Maggie? Not sure where he actually is. He is seen with the group in the season 9 filming pictures that they're on horses. So I would assume that he's there with Maggie at Hilltop helping out, because he's going to be probably connected with Maggie. He could be the Dante on the show. I hope he doesn't go against Maggie, because the Saviors, Maggie, Hilltop connection is going to be there. The story of that's going to be there for sure. But I don't think that Maggie is going to be romantically connected with Al just yet, if it happens on there too, because I don't know if people want to see that. People have Maggie connected with Glenn, and if it's too soon or if it happens at all, I don't know that people want to see that Maggie has moved on. And that was kind of a part in the comic with Sophia, and which I agree with that too. You don't want to see that too. So, yeah, exactly. Dante is kind of a connection with the show, but again, the comic is the comic and the show is the show, and they do little differences, but they also have major connections for it. So we'll see. I'm excited to see Magna and Yumiko if and when they come around, because I don't know why they wouldn't come around, but supposedly we'll see them in the first episode. And also I want to see how it goes down with Gregory and Hilltop and Maggie to see if that's true. On there too. Rise Burke, I haven't read Fight for Us, but what can I expect? Is it similar to The Walking Dead and have some same attributes? Well, I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to make spoilers at all, but Fight for Us is a zombie apocalypse genre story that follows Ryan and his friends, and they have twists and turns about there too. There's a lot of action in it. There's a lot of story. There's a lot of connection. There's a lot of what would happen around there, because it starts off in one state and then it goes to another state. And then there's kind of a little thing where different states come together, people from different states come together. But the bulk of the story takes place in Tampa, Florida. And it's, if you like The Walking Dead, you'll like, I would say you should like the books. I don't want to give too much away, but they're my baby. They're my heart and soul. I put my energy and effort into the books, and hopefully you see that. Now, I'm excited for the books, for people to read them, because it's my connection with my friends and my family and my father. That is loosely based on them too. I mean, it's not 100% what it is, but there's a lot of good story and a lot of good twists and a lot of good turns. And really everybody I talk to, like M. King right there, he said the books are great. Honestly, I love them. And, you know, he chooses to read them and like them. And I'm not making him do anything. So I like the idea that people are there too. Like I love The Walking Dead. I love Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. I love Zombieland, World War Z, and the zombie apocalypse genre. And it's like, I put that all together in a book series that's, you know, based around a character for it. So I like the idea of finding stuff that's in the zombie niche, what works, cutting out stuff that doesn't work, and answering questions, setting things up, and having you finding in like people that enjoy it, and you want to care about these characters, you want to hate these characters, just like the show. Like there's characters that you're supposed to like, and there's probably some character that you're supposed to hate. Like, did you like Shane? Some people did, some people didn't. Did you like Rick? I like the idea of having some controversy and some choosing sides of who was right, who was wrong, what side are you actually on. And people are the problem, but walkers are the problem. I don't call them walkers, they're zombies, which I don't agree with. In The Walking Dead is kind of crazy. They're like, zombies don't exist in this world. No one says that. Well, in the world of Fight for Us, the shows, the movies, the comics, the books, they existed in this world. So people are aware of zombies on there too. Like, I don't make reference to certain things because of, you know, copyright and trademark and stuff. But people know what to do a little bit more frequently and a little earlier on because of the shows and the movies and the books, because people have had that in their brain. It's years after stuff has come on the shows and stuff, and you bring it in there as well too. So I'm liking the idea for, you know, the concept of a zombie apocalypse book series. I don't know too many other book series, not just, you know, big books like World War Z is one book. The comics are, The Walking Dead is comic books. These are novels. These are 220 pages, 226 pages in a book. Comic book is 20 some pages, 24 pages or something. So it's 10 times as much content. And yes, it's drawing versus writing, and it's different, but it's 10 times as much content. 224 pages versus, you know, 24 pages. So it's I mean, I guess it's more than 10 times, but it's just a bunch more content in there too. So, but let me see some of your questions, guys. Sorry if I went on a tangent on there. So yeah, hopefully you should check out the book series on there. If you like the zombie apocalypse and just stuff in general, check out the book series. If you got a Kindle, you know, they're pretty cheap. I like the paperback stuff myself, so I have paperback and digital versions for it too. So yes, we need Rick to have a mega death or go out in a bigger way for sure. Where are we at? Sorry, it's got a bunch of stuff written here. I saw that. I think it was, Big Sexy. Rick mega death or weak death? And we don't know. I want to have a death that makes sense. I would like to say epic death, because I don't need a Megadeth, even though Megadeth is a good group. But Megadeth versus Weak Death, I would want to have a bigger death than a smaller death. We don't need a small little Nick style or Madison style or Travis style death. We need a huge thing. We need a big momentous thing like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that happened. One of those things where you're just doing it and watching the screen. So also, the news came out a while ago that Andrew Lincoln said when Rick dies, he doesn't care how it happens, but he wants the credits to play the song Hurt by Johnny Cash. And then Gimple said, I don't know if I can do this and blah, 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 blah. Well, because it probably comes to money if you're going to have to pay Johnny Cash's people or the people who own the rights to the song how much to use the song. And we all know that it's all about money in these corporations and stuff that happens with AMC or that. It comes down to money sometimes. And if it costs too much money, they're not going to do it. So if we can have a montage with that, with Hurt playing somewhere for Andrew Lincoln, if it happens, that'll probably be very nice for Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln. And I'm sure that somebody should make it on YouTube if it can't get done, because that's what Andrew Lincoln wants to happen for Rick Grimes. And hopefully Gimple and AMC can do that, but you know how that goes with money situations. If it's not worth it, they're not going to do it too. So let's see what you got. So yeah, Gregory, a lot of Gregory stuff now because, yeah, hopefully Gregory is not down there as well. So, yeah, that's true, M. King. You will like about 96% of the book because you have to hate some characters. Yeah, I mean, you got to hate some of these characters, and I write some of these people on purpose to hate on there as well, too. So, as I watch season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, it's kind of interesting to see young Daryl, Shane, Rick, the dynamic, Dale. Like, I made a list a while ago. I probably got to do an updated list because it'll be some new characters that are on there as the most hated characters on there. And on that list, definitely, is Lori Grimes. And this season kind of solidifies how Lori Grimes was pretty terrible into season 3 and everything as well. But there's just certain characters that you're like, oh, man, I just do not like that person at all. And that's okay. Not everyone you're going to like in the zombie apocalypse is going to happen. Not everyone in your day-to-day life you're going to like. Same thing would happen here. And that's kind of the way the world would go, right? So if you were in a zombie apocalypse and you got trapped in a building or trapped somewhere and you got stuck with people you hated, that would be pretty torturous, right? You'd be like, oh man, this person does not stop complaining. I cannot listen to this person anymore. Enough with this person, right? So it's pretty crazy to think there. So yes, Mies Van Biezen, the new trailer should be out this Friday, West Coast time and California time. So if you're in another country outside of the United States, you just have to know when it's going to happen, coordination. So I believe this Friday, July 20th at sometime in the afternoon, maybe 4 o'clock, I believe it drops. So 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I believe around that time should be that. That's just a rough estimate of the time, maybe between 4 and 4:30 or something. I would assume AMC is going to get it out right away. And millions of people are going to be watching it and be very excited for that, for sure. So I'm excited for it. I know everyone in this live stream is probably excited for it, and it should be great. The trailer last year for season 8 was kind of like a little much. I talked about it last live stream, but I loved the season 7 trailer, but I didn't love season 7. Didn't really love the season 8 trailer, but I liked the season 8 season. Season 6 trailer, I don't really remember being offhand. The season, 4 and 5. I remember watching the season 4 trailer, and you're like, oh, the radio with Terminus, and you're like, oh man, that looks good, and it was good. It was a good season. So sometimes the trailer does well with it. It should always be pretty good. So on there for sure. So Corey Tooves, what kind of question is this? What is the point of trying to spoil everything? I don't know what you mean. Is that in regards to me? Is it AMC? Is it spoiler groups? Because people want to know about The Walking Dead inside and out. They want to know what happens. They want to know, put stuff together, if it's true, if it's not. People want to know, man. So if you don't know, I don't I don't know what you're doing here. But M King, good quick book question. How many books total have you sold? I don't know. When I go into the publisher website, I don't see a final count of things. I know it's done really monthly, how much I can see on there too. Some book, like initially when my first books came out, they sold pretty quick and pretty well. But then the create space stuff has just kind of been all over the place. So I don't know. That's a good question. I have to look up to it. Probably not enough. Probably not that many. But I'm trying to, branch out, have some marketing, have some things there too. That's why I make videos on YouTube, because it's a good way to connect with people. But great question. I have to look into that. I would hope to think, at least 100 or so of them. So I'm not sure. I have to check. It's just crazy. So. Yeah, I don't know why. Some people complain about spoilers. Some people complain about everything. Some people complain about not enough information. Some people complain about too much information. So people always ask me a question for should I start a YouTube channel or anything? It's tough nowadays. It's definitely tough to start up stuff. But if it's something you want to do, I definitely recommend. Like at the end of my videos, believe in yourself. No matter what they are, no matter what you want to do. If it's get a degree, get a job, paint something, draw something, write something, create a novel, create a comic book, create movies, something, write a script, whatever it is, travel. It's going to take time, effort, energy, money. You can do it for sure. I think you can. And I just going to know it's going to take time, but you can do it too. So. Do I watch other Walking Dead channels? Not really. People send me links from stuff on there as well. Some other channels, not either of those that you listed, Brandon, have shared some of my stuff or talked about a topic that I brought up. That's pretty cool. I don't really watch either of those channels that you brought up for a variety of reasons. But no, I don't really watch that stuff. I try to bring positivity and community feel, the Walking Dead community, and trying to do that as well. So I don't know. I haven't had the best circumstances or things to have connecting other channels, but I've had other channels that have been pretty cool. But it's pretty interesting to see how some people think on YouTube that they're not the nicest. I'll just say that. But I try to think of it a community feel, and other Walking Dead channels bring a lot of stuff that I don't. And it's a big community, but we should all share the wealth, for sure. So, well, you sold 7 because I bought all 7. Yeah, exactly, M King. I got at least 7 sold. No, there's a lot of people that have bought the whole series, and there's a lot of people that have are stopped on book 5, and they're going to pick it up again and stuff on there too. So. Brian, if you got an offer to make your books into a series or a movie, who would you want to interpret your work? Mike Reiser. Great question. I don't know the answers, because I would love to be on Netflix or Amazon or HBO or something like that. That would be pretty amazing. But I think Frank Darabont did a good job. I always said that would be pretty amazing to do, because he brought a lot to the first 1.5 seasons of the show, and then the whole lawsuit there. And I think that would be sweet justice for him to come back around and do another zombie show and have the chance to do it right. And that would be pretty awesome to have the backing of that. So that would be really tough and really hard. And, I'm a nobody. I don't really have anything there too. I don't have McFarlane making my toys and doing stuff there. And I don't have a comic place, selling thousands and thousands of my books and stuff there. So, but that's the dream. And, if you the saying, guys, so that's for sure. Never give up on it. And I just got to get it together. I probably got to write a script for it to turn it into that, because you can have a book and then you have to have the script format. And I'm learning all this stuff too. So that's pretty cool. So, I have a question. Despite all the spoilers and theories, do you think Rick will die? I think so. If Andrew Lincoln doesn't want to be on the show anymore, then I think Rick will die, because you can't have him leave. That doesn't make sense. You can't recast him, can you? Because we talked about that with Maggie. Remember, all the talk was about Maggie not coming back? Well, little did we know that Andrew Lincoln could potentially not come back this season after the season. So I wouldn't want people to be recast, but I'd rather the person be recast than killed off. But we'll see what they want to do. I don't know. I don't know what the writers. They're in a tough position for sure. You think we will find out on Friday if we get a season 5 for Fear? Boyd, great question. I don't know. I don't think it works like that. I don't think it works there too. So what's up, Nick B? How we doing? So you guys are doing awesome. I'm going to go on for another 10 minutes for it on there too. Let's see what you got on there. Travis, do you think they will merge the Walking Dead shows? How would you like to see it done? If they do, I would love to see Morgan come back to The Walking Dead, and I would see Fear people coming to The Walking Dead, not vice versa, because it doesn't fit in my eyes. So I would want to see Morgan bring back John, and I don't know, maybe one other character, maybe Althea. Maybe Althea, the SWAT truck, John, and Morgan go to The Walking Dead. Strand goes off somewhere. Alicia ends up getting taken out. You know, I think that would be pretty cool. But we'll see. Because if you've seen... Oh, I forgot to do a video of it. I got to do it because there's been so much going on there. I saw the episode titles. Not the episodes. The episode titles of Fear the Walking Dead, second half. And there's kind of a big thing when it supposedly ends. The way the title is. Something kind of big with Morgan in the last 2 episodes, if these are true. There are potential things on there too. So I think we'll get a season 5 of Fear. And I think that'll probably be it. And I think Fear eventually connects with The Walking Dead and comes back for season 10 of The Walking Dead. So I think that makes sense. But we'll see. I would want to see Morgan, because Morgan doesn't die. I don't die, you know? So, yeah, M. King, I'll definitely make that video. I just thought about it, because I got all this information. I got all this stuff. And sometimes I make videos the day before, and I try to post a video, because there's times where I could post 3 videos a day. And I'm like, it's a lot. I'll save one for tomorrow, or I'll do that, because sometimes with working and doing things, I can't post videos every day all the time. So I'm more likely to post videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday than Tuesday, Thursday with work schedule stuff. But it's just kind of crazy on there. So now, Boyd, I don't think Morgan kills Charlie, but maybe that happens. I don't know. But Charlie, that whole thing is just going to be annoying. Like, just like thinking about it, I just think like, oh, this little kid is responsible for so much of the annoying things of the first half of season 4. And you're like, I understand it's a child and you got to save the children, you got to do this, and I can understand that, but they put a lot of extra effort into it. They had to go out of their way for it. It was pretty crazy if you watch it on there too. But yeah, I would like to see Althea and the SWAT truck rolling in to Alexandria. That would be pretty sweet on there. Brian, if you ever make your comic into a show, do not let AMC buy it because they've done nothing but abuse The Walking Dead. Yeah, that's true, Chris. I think AMC overall has done a great job. You have to remember, you got to give AMC credit because they took a chance on The Walking Dead. NBC and HBO passed. And if AMC did not pick up The Walking Dead, we wouldn't have had the show. You know, that's just crazy to think. What would the way in the world be if we didn't have the show The Walking Dead? You know, I don't want to even think about that. It's just terrible. No, it's just crazy to think that. So we got to give AMC some credit. Overall, I think they've done great things for The Walking Dead. Some missteps down the road for sure. But overall, they've done some great things for the show and the characters of it. Look at the Dixon brothers and Jerry and Simon and, you know, stuff like that. Jackie, do you think they will address Andrew Lincoln's status directly? Sorry if it's already been asked, and Walking Dead panel be available for live streaming. Thanks. I don't know, Jackie. It's a great question. I believe that you can. I watched the replay of the panels on YouTube. I'm sure they'll have the panel somewhere on YouTube or some live stream of it. So definitely check out where they have on YouTube where they're doing it. I don't know if AMC better answer it directly about Maggie, about Andrew Lincoln or Lauren Cohan, and because if not, someone's got to ask that question, and hopefully it's not watered down where people don't do that too. So I think that it's pretty interesting too. So Tudor, what you got for questions, man? Do you think the Whisperers will take Rick as prisoner for 5 years and Daryl would never find him? It's not realistic. Right. Daryl is Rick's brother. You know, no, well, not literally. But Daryl would never try to hurt Rick intentionally. I see them as brothers, and I see them as having discrepancies and arguments on there too. I mean, they got into a fight and a scrap on there too, but if Rick was missing, Daryl would go look for him. Daryl, that could be a point where the prisoner aspect of Rick doesn't make sense because of the time jump. 5 years, it's just crazy to think. If it's true, remember, these are potential spoilers for the 5 to 6 year time jump if that happens. So great question, Tudor. I don't know. A lot of people are thinking that Rick's going to be captured in episode 905 by the Whisperers, and then we don't see him for 5 years, and then episode 906 is a 5-year time jump. It's just going to be too jumping all over the place. I didn't like that about Fear the Walking Dead season 4, and nobody did. Then and now and then and now and then and now. Maybe you agree with it, maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't, but majority of people didn't. It was confusing. It was dumb. It wasn't good storytelling for sure. And I definitely want to avoid that in the process of anything on there too. So, M. King, yeah, I plan on doing audiobooks for Fight For Us. I just got to figure out how to do all that and get the right program and get the right thing to do it because I want it to be done right. But audiobooks would be pretty sweet for that. I want to have some illustrations. I want to have a comic down the road, but it's just so expensive and so pricey to make a comic book on there too. What's your opinion on possible other spinoffs of The Walking Dead? Do you ever think it's over the top? I like it. B. Marshy 2303. I like the idea of spinoffs. I would like to see a Hilltop spinoff, a Kingdom spinoff, and a Negan Savior spinoff. Even if they were 6 episodes or partial spinoffs over the summer to fill the void of that, I wouldn't mind seeing that. And then maybe The Walking Dead takes a break and comes back or whatever. But I don't know. The AMC Walking Dead connection is too viable for them to just give up on it without a fight. Maybe they take a break and they come back. Or maybe something happens and The Walking Dead leaves and goes to another network. Because I doubt The Walking Dead would not be picked up if they ever wanted to continue doing it. So, yeah, boy, plot twist. Tobias runs the Commonwealth. He runs things, man. He's running things. He found a new knife because Madison took his. And he's running things on there. So, the good questions on there too. I want to go for another 5 minutes, guys, and then I got to go do some stuff, continue watching the marathon here, and yeah, enjoy your Sunday as well. So I'll go for another 5 minutes. Like I said, I'll answer some more questions on there. Let's see what you got on there for that. So, Tudor, if I missed your question on there, answer it again on there too. So, yeah, I'm talking about giving Judith an innocent friendship with a Whisperer kid, or just give her some of Carl parts that they never adapted in the past. That's true. Yeah, I mean, you could have a watered down version where Judith becomes a friend of Whisperers, and I want to see Judith, have a friend. I want to see, Herschel Jr., little Herschel, if that's what Maggie names her baby, baby Herschel. That it would be kind of cool to see. Because if Herschel's like 1 or 2 in the first episode and they have a time jump, that little kid's going to be, 7 years old potentially. So we'll see how it goes down for the time jumps if it happens on there. But yeah, The Walking Dead is 3 to 4 times better ratings than anything else AMC has. Badlands, Dietland are not drawing for exactly. I mean, Steve, The Walking Dead is still a huge, huge revenue stream for AMC. They're making a lot of good content, but AMC is a lot of commercials, and it's kind of annoying, when you'll see a lead-in commercial, and then they'll have a thing, and then they'll have a commercial, and then they'll have a thing commercial, and the episode will run, an hour and 6 minutes or an hour and 8 minutes, and the episode is actually 42 minutes, 43 minutes. So you're getting 25 minutes of commercials. 25 minutes of commercials in a 42-minute episode. That's a lot. You're getting half commercials. Come on now. Let's get some more better content. And, but AMC, I get that revenue, Brian, I know you're going to disagree with me, and that's fine, but I think Rick would floor Daryl in a fight. He really wanted to. I think Rick was more focused on the explosive. Yeah, that was a fight where there was too much going on and everything. And you want to kind of have them be a draw. There's a great line by Stan Lee who said, when two superheroes fight, you want it to be a draw so people can debate who won. And that's what you would have with Daryl versus Rick and Rick versus Shane. And some people thought Rick won, and some people think Shane won, and some people think this one and that one. It's just kind of like that's what you want to have. You want to have the debate of who actually won that, too. So a couple more questions, guys. Fire away. I ask them rapid fire here. Do you think Magna will meet Negan in his cell like the comics? I think so. I think we'll see jail cell Negan. We'll see that for sure. What's up, Red Elastic 98? How we doing? So in an interview, Kang said they will focus on more nature, taking, of course, less ammo, but Eugene makes bullets, so they really won't have to worry about that too much, right? Exactly. So the whole ammo thing is that Eugene has a whole place to do that, as long as they don't sabotage it and they don't, pack the bullets wrong. But I don't know, like if Eugene was giving me a thing of bullets, a magazine of bullets or something like that too, I might be like, does he not know what he's doing? I don't know if I can trust this guy, but I would use more of my spears and my swords and my machetes and my arrows and try to get more sword making and different weapons than anything. Look at Rick's new mace kind of weapon thing. Pretty cool. So how do you think they will handle Maggie's departure? Hopefully we don't have a Maggie departure. Hopefully she stays on. But I just don't know how she would just leave. She's like, I'm out of Hilltop. I'm out of here. If Negan's alive, I'm out of here. I'm taking my baby and I'm out. I'm going to Oceanside. I don't know. What would happen there? I would see that Maggie would not make it too. So, a couple more questions here. Do you think Magna and her group will appear in the premiere? Yes, I do. I believe we'll see Magna in episode 901 and Yumiko and a couple other people for sure. Do you expect to see the radio tower from the Doctor's death to return? I think that I'm not sure if you asked me this question or where this was brought up, but we were just talking about this on another video, that the radio thing situation is that I don't know if Eugene is going to go to that house with Father Gabriel, or Father Gabriel told Eugene about the radios and they're bringing them to Alexandria, so they'll get the radio and they'll get set up for that way, over the time jump. So Eugene could already have the radios on there. But I think Eugene will definitely have the radios for sure. So why did the little girl in season 1 pick up the stuffed animal? Because then Zekon, back then they were still thinking the idea that zombies or walkers could have some essence of what they were before everything. That was Mike. Oh, okay, Mike. Yeah, I thought someone did. We discussed that with the whole radio thing on there. Pretty cool stuff. But I think that early on they were holding doorknobs and twisting doorknobs and holding rocks and different things, that the walkers could still have a semblance of who they were and how to be a human on there too. So, B. Marshy, do you ship Daryl and Rosita? I don't know. I don't see Daryl having a love interest. I just think they want to keep him as a lone wolf. But Rosita and Daryl, that would be a pretty badass couple on there too. So there you go, guys. I'm going to finish on that note. I went 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes over. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. You guys truly are awesome. So thank you guys for joining me this July 15th. Next Sunday, I will have a live stream as well. I will be doing a live stream 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I will be talking about the Comic-Con trailer, if and when we see it, the panel, what we learned, any information on that too. And you guys are awesome. So remember, guys, believe in yourself. Never give up on your dreams and aspirations in life. If you can dream it, you can do it. Thanks, guys.